Hello and welcome to The Frame. We start with a recap of Mayor Charlie Sisitsky's State of the City address, which was released last Thursday night, January 29th. It marked the fifth time that Sisitsky has given the address since initially taking office, as it was pre-recorded before being published onto the local government channel that night. In the address, Sisitsky touted investments and developments made into infrastructure, safety, and other aspects of public life.
This past year has tested our city in real and meaningful ways. We faced tough decisions, real pressures, and moments that demanded resilience. Our vision for the new year is clear: growth that is inclusive, progress that is sustainable, and leadership that listens.
Among the topics raised during the speech included efforts to expand early childhood education access, renovations to various city-owned properties for initiatives like a new regional emergency dispatch center and a community center, water and sewer installations along local roadways, the initiation of a police body camera program, as well as Framingham's compliance with the MBTA Communities Act. The address was aired amid ongoing conversations between city officials on the municipal operating budget for the 2027 fiscal year, a process that has already seen potential layoffs within the Framingham public school system outlined and public concerns regarding those salary cuts aired. Sisitsky acknowledged the FY27 budget challenges ahead, though the mayor ended his speech by calling for unity among community members.
So the state of our city is strong, not because we are without challenges, but because we face them together.
As for that FY27 budgeting process, the City Council unanimously voted on Tuesday, February 3rd, to push all dates related to its creation back by a month in order to give local officials more time to dissect information and to develop final budget proposals. The final operating budget for the city was initially set to be voted on in late April, but now that vote, along with all other budget deadlines, have been moved back by 30 days. Speaking of the development of a new community center in Framingham, the project was part of a series of updates provided to city councilors on municipally owned buildings during the group's meeting this week. Chief Operating Officer for the city, Michael Tassino, spoke about the latest details to redevelop the former Marion High School site along Union Avenue into a community center, mentioning that work on the 100,000 square foot building's roof, windows, and masonry should wrap up within a few months' time. That construction, the COO explained, was carried out through roughly $12 million in federal funding through the American Rescue Plan Act, though the city is still awaiting additional federal aid after a government funding bill approved by Congress last March excluded about $5 million initially earmarked for that community center plan. As of Tuesday, Tassino did not have an estimation on the project's final cost nor opening timeframe, adding that local officials have not yet publicly revealed initial proposals for a floor plan from the project's architect due to ongoing analysis being done by the local Community Center Advisory Committee. In turn, City Council members like Mary Kate Feeney of District 3 called on Mayor Sisitsky's administration to act in regards to the proposal, based on a lack of a preliminary budget and floor plan, as well as declining participation within that advisory group.
I do not see the sense of urgency or a plan when it comes to this, and it is one of the number one questions that I think all of us are getting about what is going on with the old Marion High building. I'm very concerned that we do not even have a basis.
Tassino said initial construction work at the Marion site was anticipated to extend the development timeline, adding that he expects a floor plan and a budget estimate for the community center project to be provided within 6 months. This update was a part of a larger report on 9 total local properties and the city's plans for those sites. Additional details on the full report presented on Tuesday can be found at www.theframe.news. State Senate President Karen Spilka, who represents Framingham within the body on Beacon Hill, said she and her colleagues will support legislation recently filed by Governor Maura Healey related to ICE operations in Massachusetts. Healey's proposal, which was filed last Thursday, January 29th, would prevent arrests by ICE agents within state courthouses if they do not have a warrant. Among other stipulations, it would also prevent those immigration enforcement agents from entering schools, child care centers, and medical facilities without a judicial warrant, while restricting civil arrests during religious services within houses of worship. Spilka said on Thursday that the state Senate will do, quote-unquote, everything in its power to get the bill back to Healey's desk for her signature.
I can promise all of you when this legislation reaches the Senate, and hopefully that is very soon, we will engage thoughtfully with the details and consider additional protections developed through the hard work of our senators, measures that we feel are necessary to defend the safety, dignity, and rights of our residents.
Healy also made a related executive order last week. It prohibits the state from entering into any new agreements with the federal government that would delegate immigration-specific actions from ICE to state or local law enforcement, barring any public safety needs. The Department of Homeland Security and the Mass GOP have since criticized the proposed legislation from Healy, along with that executive order. More details on that ICE story, along with all of the other top stories we cover every week, can be found on our website, www.theframe.news. Our online home has got full written articles, feature pieces completed across the community, and a calendar filled with upcoming local events. Be sure to subscribe to our email newsletter, too, so that you're always in the loop with Framingham News in Focus. Leaders from the MetroWest Jewish Day School in Framingham have announced that they will be ceasing operations at the end of the current school year. Since 2003, the school has provided Jewish education to over 300 students between kindergarten and grade 8 from over 30 cities and towns in the region. An announcement made last week from board chair Stephen Finn and head of school Brian Cohen, though, said their education model cannot be sustained in the MetroWest area. In the statement, the pair wrote, quote, "We are deeply committed to ensuring a thoughtful, compassionate, and supportive transition for our students, families, and staff over the coming year. We remain steadfast in our responsibility to care for this community through the conclusion of the academic year and beyond," end quote. The Finn family has announced that they are committing to offering tuition scholarship help for current students continuing Jewish Day School programming through the 8th grade. And finally this week, a preview of our latest frame-by-frame segment. The 25th Winter Olympic Games begin this weekend in Italy, and Framingham will have a representative. 21-year-old Ansel Haugsjaa will be competing as part of the United States luge team in Milan and Cortina. We've featured parts of our conversation with him before, but this week we wanted to take a deeper look into his story, how he got into the sledding sport, what it means to officially be able to call himself an Olympian, and more. Let's take a look.
I got into it totally by accident. It was just a day, a snow day, and my friend called me and he was like, "Hey, they're doing a luge event at Wachusett Mountain." And I didn't know what it was at all. Like, I had never heard of luge. And he was like, "Oh, it's just like sledding. Like, they're doing sledding at Wachusett. My mom's taking me. Do you want to go?" It felt incredible. It's just something I've been working so hard for so long now.
As always, more details on that frame-by-frame segment can be found on our social media accounts. Follow us on Instagram at @FrameNews_, and find us on Facebook by searching for The Frame. Be sure that you're subscribed to access Framingham's channel on YouTube. Hit the bell icon there to be notified whenever new content is published. We encourage you to follow us on Spotify as well, where we post full Frame episodes for you to watch or listen to. That's all for this week's Framingham News in Focus. For all of us here at The Frame, thanks for joining us, and go Pats! I'm Brendan Fitzpatrick. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.